Good evening. With the Onion Lake Cree Nation under a local state of emergency due to flooding, the Canadian Red Cross is prepared to help out. Lakeland College in Lloydminster has been set up as an evacuation center if necessary. Kim Smith has the details.
LC 2011-4 for their bed number, something like that. Okay.
Volunteers and staff members are going over final details if residents of Onion Lake Cree Nation are forced out of their homes.
We've been setting up sleeping areas here at the college for people, area to receive people, to provide supplies for their personal needs that they may have when they come here.
Social Services is working with the Red Cross. They're prepared to receive 250 evacuees if necessary.
This is one of the 12 rooms at Lakeland College to house evacuees from Onion Lake if necessary. Organizers say the facility lends itself well as an evacuation center.
There are so many opportunities and spaces that work well within this facility. It's really an ideal space for people to come when they find themselves in this challenging situation.
Organizers have access to the cafeteria for serving food, plus other more private rooms. The Red Cross is working with various partners, including Airmark and the Salvation Army. Onion Lake is the 8th Saskatchewan community to declare a state of emergency since the weekend. The concern is if the water rises further, roads will be washed out and residents will be stuck in their homes.
Based on the situation related to flood in the community, you never know what is happening. It's not necessarily instant. It's just sort of an always on-call, wait and see what happens and be prepared to assist people if need be.
So far, one elderly couple were evacuated from Onion Lake to a hotel in Lloydminster over the weekend. No one else has had to move, but the Red Cross is prepared.
And if need be, we look forward to meeting the individuals from Onion Lake.
Meantime, rising floodwaters has already forced more than 50 people from their homes on the Poundmaker First Nation. They're staying in a hotel in neighboring communities. Kim Smith, Newcap News.
The former commanding officer of CFB Wainwright has been charged with several offenses relating to an alleged sexual assault. Major David Yorchishin is facing 3 charges stemming from an incident which is alleged to have happened last November. He is charged with 1 count each of sexual assault, disgraceful conduct, and drunkenness. A court date has not yet been set. Stroke can happen unexpectedly and at any time. This according to the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Now there is 1 stroke every 10 minutes. In this week's Healthy Living, Anna Stanislaw tells us the remarkable story of a stroke and brain injury survivor. And I'm just getting word in my ear that we will have that story for you in just a moment. Now for many years, some homeowners in Cold Lake have experienced flooding in their basements, including sewage backup. But the city is one step closer to solving those problems. Upgrades to a lift station in Cold Lake South will begin shortly. Now over $700,000 of work will be put into the station, which is just one of the multi-phase project fixing the sanitation system in the city.
Due to the funding we have, we can only do one phase of it. The second phase, the total project of upstream is $2.2 million. We're just doing about $800,000 of worth of work.
The upgrades on the station are scheduled to begin soon. More work on the sanitation system throughout the city will be completed by the end of the year.
There's another force main for the Building 9 lift station. And there was a project that was started last year, 54th Street sanitary upgrade, that also going to be completed this year. That's almost about $1.7 million.
Work on the lift station is expected to begin in a month. Stroke can happen unexpectedly and at any time. According to the Heart and Stroke Foundation, there is 1 stroke every 10 minutes. In this week's Healthy Living, Anna Stanislaw tells us the remarkable story of a stroke and brain injury survivor and gives us some tips on how to indicate if a person has suffered a stroke.
I couldn't speak. I was at work and I couldn't get nothing out.
It was a normal Sunday morning at work for Ada Reed when she had trouble speaking. It turned out to be a stroke.
It's very, very shocking. So young, 51 years old, and she just normal day, which turned out to be tragic.
Since then, Cindy has not left her mom's side. The Lloydminster and Area Brain Injury Society is helping with her recovery process.
She helped me through everything.
It's a life learning experience. It's a total change. We, from helping her learn how to walk, to eat, to talk, it's very stressful. It changes everybody's life.
It has just been over a year since Ada's stroke. She comes to Labus 3 times a week, doing various activities to help work on her memory and more.
She first came, there was a lot of things that she either couldn't do or wasn't sure if she'd ever be able to do again, and her progress is remarkable. There's no ceiling, there's no cap on recovery from brain injury. You need to continue to work with your brain and work with your body so that it can relearn new things.
Gauthier says there is a simple test anyone can do if they believe they have had a stroke. It's called the Smile, Talk and Wave test. First, ask them to smile, and if their smile is a bit lopsided, it may be a sign of a stroke as it affects one side of your body. Second, ask them to repeat a simple sentence. If they slur while repeating, it's another sign. And lastly, raise their arms above their head. If they can't raise them to the same distance, there is weakness on one side of their body. And one important thing to remember is time is of the essence when it comes to a stroke.
Certain drugs can only be administered within a certain time frame. For instance, a lot of the clot busters that were given to Ada that need to be administered within 3 hours.
And no matter how difficult it may be at times for this mom, Cindy is thankful for Ada to be alive.
My hope someday that she will fully recover and that she can go back to work.
Made me think a lot. But I loves coming there.
Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
Playoff pools go hand in hand with the NHL playoffs, which got underway this week. And it looks like farmers and the Canadian Wheat Board are getting in on the fun. Kyle Gallagher has more in this week's Ag Report.
The Canadian Wheat Board is known for the serious business of operating price pools for several grains. But this spring, the board is introducing something a little different. Earlier this week, the CWB announced the launch of a hockey pool for farmers.
Farmers, we like them to put tons in there, and I just thought, why not have a hockey pool? Something a little different, have some fun. There's no cost. You don't have to put any tons in, right?
There's also the chance to win some prizes. First place takes home $500, second gets $250, and third gets $100, as well as a snazzy CWB denim jacket. Last place will also get a jacket as a consolation prize. The launch of the hockey pool coincides with the seeding season, and the CWB is hoping the pool can help farmers have a little fun while they're out in the field.
Got a favorite team, like, hey, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in the playoffs. They could pick some Toronto Maple Leaf players and, watch your team as you go along as they're seeding and win some prizes.
The pool is free of charge, but you must be a farmer registered with the Canadian Wheat Board.
They can pick any 20 players that I have on a sheet for them, so it's pretty simple.
The CWB is hoping the contest will direct more traffic to the organization's new website. All farmers that are interested are encouraged to join. You can register or change your picks anytime before the deadline of 5 p.m. this Monday. Kyle Gallagher, Newcap News.